All right, sixth grade learners. Wow, got a little hot under that mask. It was really busting a move there, dancing Homer. Today, we are going to shift our focus into ratios, rates, unit rates, and proportions. And really, for today, all we're going to focus on is this ratios part here. So we're going to talk about all of them briefly. I'm going to define them, but then today I'm just going to really talk about what a ratio is, and we'll come back on some other videos and talk about rates, unit rates, and proportions. So a ratio is a comparison of two quantities using division, which is really nice because we've worked with fractions, and you're going to see that, you remember, all fractions are just a division problem in disguise. So when working with ratios, it's really just like working with fractions again. And a lot of the strategies that we've used with fractions kind of apply again here to ratios. A rate is a special ratio where two terms are in different units. So today, all of the ratios we're going to talk about are Skittles. The examples I used are Skittles. And we'll be comparing like red Skittles to green Skittles, or red Skittles to all the Skittles. But when we change the units, like if we start talking about the amount of the cost per pound, like the dollars per pound, or we went 350 miles in 7 hours, those are different units. We're measuring different things. Then it becomes a rate. And a unit rate is that special rate with a denominator of 1. When we have like on the signs along the side of the road where it would say 55 miles per hour or 25 miles per 1 hour, with a 1 as our denominator, that's our unit rate. And then a proportion is a statement of equality between two ratios, and that's where the fraction piece really comes in handy, because we could start talking about equivalent fractions, and that's really all a proportion is, and we know a lot of strategies for making equivalent fractions. So real quick then, today, ratios can be written and represented a few different ways. Imagine that you ate most of your bag of Skittles and that all you have left are 5 Skittles. 3 of them, go this way, 3 of them are red and 2 of them are green. Now, I don't know if most of you guys are probably too young to remember, or maybe even know, that the green Skittles used to be lime, which were way better than the sour apple that you have today, at least in my opinion, my humble opinion here. But regardless, here we have three red and 2 green left. So all we're going to do to write a ratio of red to green Skittles is write the word 2 in between them, 3 to 2. Same as like in the phrase up here, the ratio of red to green is 3 to 2. Sounds weird when 2 is one of our numbers, 3 to 2, but it's just the word 2 and then the number 2. Or you could write it like this with a colon, and it's still read out loud the same way, 3 to 2. Or, remember what I said, it's a fractions, comparison of two quantities using division. So this is 3 to 2. I would read that the same way. So whether it's written as a fraction or with the colon or with the word 2, it's always read out loud the same way, 3 to 2, 3 to 2, 3 to 2. And now this is called a part-to-part ratio because we're comparing smaller parts of that entire group of Skittles to each other, 3 reds to 2 green. And I can go ahead and skip and spin these around, flip them around, the ratio of green to red. So we could do this here, ratio of green to red is now 2 to 3. It can be represented in like those same 3 ways, right? And it's still an example of a part-to-part ratio comparing smaller parts of the entire group. But if I wanted to, the other way we could do this is we can call about a part-to-whole ratio. So I could say the ratio of red Skittles to all the Skittles I have remaining is 3 to 5. So that could still be written in the 3 different ways with the word 2, the colon, or the fraction. But now I'm comparing part of the group, the reds, to the entire group, the 5 that I have. So 3 to 5, 3 to 5, 3 to 5. Okay. Now this is an example again of a part-to-whole ratio, and I could start mixing and matching those around. I could say, tell me the green to all. That would be part-to-whole as well, or all Skittles to red Skittles. So now it's like a whole to part. So I just flip that part around here. It would be whole to part, and same with all Skittles to green Skittles. So the ratio piece, hopefully this helps square it away here a little bit if you were struggling on Freckle or ST Math at all. but these are the types of things that you would probably be asked. Like for every 6 cups of flour in a bread recipe, there are 2 cups of milk. So what would that look like as a ratio? Well, you just write it like this, 6 to 2. Add a couple extra dots in there, we don't need 6 to 2, right? Or you could write it as 6 to 2. Or you could write it as 6 to 2. Right? And any of those would be fine. On Freckle or ST Math, it probably asks you to write it in using the colon, right? Bob made 3 times as many baskets as John during basketball practice. Now, it doesn't tell you how many John made. So this is really leading into the next piece here on proportions, right? And making some equivalent fractions. And it really doesn't matter how many John made. Bob made 3 times as many. So if you just started out as like John made 1, okay, and then Bob made 3 times as many, the ratio of Bob to John, and it doesn't really say that, it's kind of a poorly worded question, but the ratio of Bob to John would be 3 to 1. And really, if you said the ratio is maybe 6 to 2, because that would be the same proportionality, that's the same ratio as well, and that works. And you could have done the same thing up here, right? I mean, it's the same ratio, 6 to 2, 6 to 2. So this could have been 3 to 1. Well, maybe you want to make this one 9 to 3, or 12 to 4, or 30 to 10, right? So Bob making 3 times, as long as he always has 3 times as many as John, your ratio is fine there. I'm going to leave you at that today. Getting back into Freckle, the adaptive practice for ratios and proportions. ST Math, I've had so many kids reach out and with getting stuck on a game, which is awesome. Reach out. I've been doing screen shares to help kids through places where they're getting stuck. And a huge celebration yesterday with the vocabulary assignment. So many kids watched that video and did the assignment that went along with it. Thank you so much for doing your part. If you have any questions, please reach out. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.